We are
There you
live.
go. We are live. Hello. This is the regular meeting of RFM at Agile Ventures. We are currently 3 people. Let's see if Mike is going to join. But right now we have Mariam and we have Matt, and my name is Robert. And we like the 1 minute before we're giving each other an update. And Matt and a couple of others were pairing together on this FAQ feature, and we were about to start a discussion and routing of Ember. So if I quote you right, Matt, then you asked me about different layers in Ember, right? It feels to you as if Ember has, and the Ember routing has different layers. So you can have nested routes, and each nesting adds another layer on top of the page, right?
Yes. Sorry, I had myself muted for a second.
Ah,
I,
yeah.
I'm going to share my screen just because that way I can. I was just asking you about this visualize. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we have this visualize route, and then inside the visualize route, we have these different nested routes. So, like you have geo, and then after geo, you have graph, for example, and you have my favorite, demography. And then inside of that, you have like diff has nested routes, media, and stations.
Yeah.
Whereas time has progress and so on.
Yeah, exactly. So the routing in Ember is fundamentally different than the routing in server-side rendered applications. Rails is server-side rendered, while Ember is client-side rendered. And this comes with some advantage. On server-side rendered applications, you will send an HTTP request on every change of the URL, right? So if you click on a link, for example, and you visit another URL, this will trigger another HTTP request. The whole page will refresh, right?
Yeah.
Ember is different. Ember has its own routing, and it will prevent, if you change the URL, refreshing of the whole page. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this Ember routing like roughly reflects the changes of the URL. However, Ember can decide, it can do whatever it wants if you do some changes of the URL. Does that make sense so far?
What do you mean by it can do whatever it wants?
It's preventing the default behavior of browsers. That is, if the URL changes, send another HTTP request to that URL, like a GET request.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ember could decide no HTTP, no GET request, which is the default behavior for all Ember applications.
Yeah.
So it just takes the page once, and like when you visit the domain for the very first time, it downloads the entire page. And then if you change between URLs, it only refreshes the data that is necessary to render the page. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is it similar to Ajax requests or like in Vue.js when you set routing for it to be like something like that you have to set like because like you have the wrapper page and then you just change the content using routing.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, exactly. Like think of Ember as a wrapper page. That's basically a very nice metaphor, a wrapper page. That's correct. And so you can have this nice behavior of these different levels that you were talking about, Matt. So you could, Matt, can you show me the FAQ page, for example? You're sharing a screen already. Oh, okay. So there's only this FAQ. Okay, maybe for explanation, could you visit the index page? and scroll down to the FAQ section. Just think that this FAQ section could be a separate page. Just imagine.
Yeah.
Then this could be the index page of the FAQ.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have if you have FAQ slash whatever, I don't know, who are you, for example, FAQ, and then who are you exactly? That could be the so-called slug. I think that's what they call a slug. So a unique identifier, which you can put into the URL. Where does slug actually come from? It also is search engine friendly. Anyhow, but this could be the identifier of an FAQ, and then you could have the index page, and then on top of that, a component which shows just that for FAQ. For example, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And visiting between the index page and one of those FAQ pages, like single FAQ pages, does not trigger another request to the backend. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it's similar to this, right? But in this case, this content is completely different than like, okay, so you have the index page and then you have the diff. So this is re-rendering. This is rendering the page, or this is and then stations.
Yeah. So the pattern of the route defines which like routes in Ember. Like, I mean, I'm referring to the object route. A route in Ember is a name for a special object, like this file that you have in the folder routes. Okay. And the pattern in the URL defines which routes are rendered. So if you have visualize /diff/ what was it? Stations. Then you have first the visualize route, which will be executed, then the diff route, which will be executed, and then the stations route. And you can find it in the folder routes if you want to check it out.
Routes or router?
Routes.
Okay. So routes visualize.
Yes, routes /visualize.js. It's also in your file explorer on the left. I can already see it. Yeah, there you go. So this one is empty.
Yeah.
It is loaded as soon as you go on the visualize or any subpage. Then the visualize /diff route will be rendered, which you'll also find in the visualize folder. On the left, for example.
Folder.
Yeah. So yeah, they have
which has this reset scale position. Or is this time? Yeah, visualize. Oh, diff here and then stations.
And this is the last one that is rendered. And there you can see that this very last route actually sends a backend request. Because it has this model thing. Yeah, so in this case, it's like it's requesting the backend to get some data before it renders the actual page. Mariam, are you still with us? Like, does it make sense? Do you get, like, do you understand what I'm talking about? I think this is quite complex, to be honest.
Well, what I understood is that diff route is nested inside the visual route. So when you go visualize and then /diff, something like that, right?
Yeah.
If you want to access diff. Then this one is making requests to the backend API, right?
Yes, exactly, because we are now on this file and it has a model hook from line 5 to 18.
The model hook where is it for? Is it for defining?
The model hook is a special thing in Ember. So whenever you enter a route, if you have something in the model hook, it will try to execute that one and pass it to the respective controller. Now it's getting complicated. Okay. So just think of every time you enter a route, this model hook is executed. And it's for getting data from the backend.
And it's being executed before the render of the doc? No.
Can you say it again?
So is it executed before the DOM is rendered?
Yes, yes, correct. That's true. It's correct, and you can see it in the template also. So if Matt checks out the template under app/template/visualize/dev/stations.hps.
Oh, app/templates
Visualize.
Visualize.
So it all follows the same pattern.
Div/stations.
Then you have somewhere. Oh no. Okay, so this one is getting its data from radio chart options or radio chart data. Now you have to check out the respective controller. So there's apparently a property which has the name radio chat data, for example, and this one is defined in the controller. So you check out the controller in the very same folder, like instead of templates, you just change that one with controller. App/controllers. Maybe this time it's easier for you to go through the file explorer on the left. Okay. I like your way of trying to find files by name, but since the directory structure is so similar, it might be easier to go through the file explorer. Yeah, and then you have your properties. So these are all computed properties that depend on the model, and you can see it, for example, on line 8. You have model.tv. So model is what comes from the route.
I had a question though, going back to, because where was it? I have too many things open.
I think this was very complicated. Maybe this is too complicated example. In general, model is a special name for whatever the return value of the model hook, which is always executed when you enter a route, and usually is used to get data from the backend. But I mean, the point that I want to get is that for the FAQ page, you don't have any data on the backend. Everything is on the client already. Like the translations, I mean, an FAQ is just a title and a description, either in English or German. That's it. So this is all in the front end. There's no dynamic data or something that you need to get. It's all the static data that you enter. Like you put it into a translation, that's it. So the front end can show your FAQ page immediately like this, without having without making any requests to the backend anymore. Does it make sense?
Yes. The thing that didn't make sense to me is that you said that this is a backend request, but I thought this.star was querying the Ember.js, like what's stored in Ember.js, not what's stored in the backend.
I mean, technically you're correct. It's getting something from the store in Ember, but this is just something like a mirror of the data in the backend. If the data is not there yet, or it's not yet loaded, Ember knows that. It will make this request to the backend.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can see that it's making the request to the backend when you refresh it and it has this loading.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not, like, for example, if I just started the front end and I didn't start the back end and I tried to refresh this page, then it's going to give me that oops and tell me that there's something wrong, that I'm not connected to the back end.
Exactly. So maybe we can actually do it right now. Since I can screen share already, maybe we can like sketch out the behavior of the FAQ page. What do you think?
Yeah, I would like that. That'd be great.
I think this won't take a lot of time, so let's do that quickly. I'll just deactivate my second screen, so I'll be able to share the full screen or screen share. This should work now because I am on Xorg again. Your entire screen, yes. There you go.
Hey.
So can you see my screen? Wow, Inception. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm currently on Branch Master. Shall I increase the font size?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah.
That large enough?
Yeah. On the right, it is.
Too large.
Yeah.
Oh no. Save and all still quite big. How about 14? Oh. Okay. Is this good? Can you read this one, like on the right side?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
What
let's
was the fish? Nice.
And now I'm using fish. That's
Yeah.
true.
I like.
I'm not happy with fish. It doesn't have so many advantages, and it has a couple of disadvantages. Like it's not POSIX compliant. You for example, I'm missing sudo double exclamation mark or yeah.
Yeah. The double ampersand as well. You need to use a semicolon.
And if you, for example, copy a shell command from the browser, then you have to like make the syntax a little bit different.
And yeah, I've noticed like some configuration issues with dealing with like RBM and things like this that seem like they're much easier in Bash. But
yeah,
I guess the biggest benefit that I get from it is the intuitiveness of what command you're trying to run and like being able to. But
yeah. So I'm starting the server now. Should be okay, and I'm switching into the frontend directory, and I will generate some routes. That is FAQ slash. Yeah. You have a branch already, right?
yeah, it's called 336 _ FAQ. Yeah, there we go.
Looks good. So now I should be able to go onto the FAQ page. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is to generate some tooltip here. Hide. Go away. Can you see the tooltip? No.
Yeah.
You can? Okay.
Well, now you moved it out of the way.
So we have FAQ already, and I can, in fact, generate another route, and I will call it FAQ single. Right?
Yep.
Or single FAQ. There you go. And now I'm adding a parameter to it because that's our slug to the config. Wrong one. Where is it? Router. There you go. And we should have the single thing here. And somewhere here we also have, yeah, for example, that one here.
A path.
So we could just copy paste that one and put it here. And it means single and FAQ slug. So that means the URL, the pattern of the URL is FAQ /single/ and then a slug. this colon means something which is a slug.
Yeah, which we're going to populate with the keys.
Like an ID.
Say it again,
Okay.
Mariam?
Like the ID of the question.
Exactly, but it doesn't have to be an integer. It can also be a string.
Okay. And what is, I didn't get the part of the single. What is it?
Yeah.
Say it again.
The single part of the URL, what is that?
Yeah, that is the name of the route. So if this is our pattern here, it has to know the name of the file that is going to it's going to load. And
Well, why did you choose single though?
Good question. It just came to my mind. I said, okay, it's the FAQ page of a single FAQ. So I said, okay, then we have FAQ and then single.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. And now I could. So I don't know where we have the definition of the FAQs, but I think
It's in the. You're talking about the content. Is in the. It's in the YAML files under FAQ dot key or whatever.
where do we have like? I mean, there you go. So here we have like the definition. What are the slugs?
Mm-hmm.
And what I want now is just to have some kind of array with all those slugs. Where are we? I'm getting confused. No, actually, I want to go into FAQ. So this is the index page. So can you see that now I am on FAQ, and this one here is FAQ/single.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm going to FAQ now, and here I say that model is just an array of strings. Oh, come on. No. I'm going to do that. Maybe delete that one first. I don't need that. I don't need that either. No, delete that one.
And line 20.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm doing some kind of Vim magic. So I'm recording a macro. Go to the end of the line 2 times delete, then comma, then escape, then to the beginning of the file, then down, and that's it. And do this.
Wow.
20 - 7 is 13. No. 13 times. There you go. Oh, almost.
Wow, look at that.
Okay. Looks okay to me, right? So now model is not actually something from the database anymore. Like it's not JSON that is complicatedly queried from the backend and then turned into a JSON object. It's actually just an array of strings that I define right in the route itself. Okay? And what I want now is to, well, what I do want to do now is to...
Shouldn't there be one for FAQ? Or just
Say it again?
Shouldn't there be one for FAQ? For this array?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to access this array now from the single FAQ page.
Oh, okay.
So okay, maybe let's start simple. I'm going to the index page now. So templates FAQ HBS, and there you have just that one. Yeah, so I can say, how do I iterate in Ember? I think it's called each, right? I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't write. Yeah. It has been a while since I wrote the last time handlebars. So here, model as slug, right? Shall I call it slug here again? It's
Yeah,
okay.
that makes sense.
So model refers to the model hook.
Yeah.
And this one here is like like a block param in Ruby, you could say.
Like the variable.
You can add, well, no. Oh, wrong one. Oh, okay. Stop. And that should be concat.
Yeah. Key
And,
dot title. Yeah, slug dot title.
is it correct? I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, there's something missing, but it looks okay, I would say.
Can't you, when you're concating that, can't you just reuse the key and then the space and then in parentheses dot title?
Oh yeah, so the actual, like, it should be like this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because that part, the slug, where you want to you can reuse the slug for the ID part, but you need to, instead of, oh yeah, you should be able to. No, slug you can't use. I think. Yeah, why not?
Who are you? Question header. Who are you? No, it should be no. There shouldn't be no title. Like you can see here, that's FAQ question header dot who are you. That's it. So I'll just remove that one. I guess there are just some missing translations here.
Don't think so. Because it's saying they're all missing.
Oh.
The only one that's not is who are you?
So I guess we can.
I'm just curious why you. I understand the point of using slug for the ID, but I guess I don't understand why you're not just using the same concat that you used on the other, which is like concat with frequently asked, and then with the, instead of slug, say key and then title.
I don't get it.
Like, yeah, like, can you see my screen?
I guess I can just copy that one here. I just went into the component.
Yeah.
So I think this one is taken from the this one here is taken from the component, and I can just.
Yeah, that's what I was suggesting.
Here you go. Okay. And you have even some links.
Yeah, but that's the content instead of the.
Yeah, right. So what was the title?
It's dot title, you know.
Yeah, right.
Dot content. Yeah. Although I feel like you did try that already.
There you go.
There you go. Nice.
So, and you could, for example, now click on one and get to, I don't know who.
I think Miriam's having problems. She's left and joined and left and joined, and she's currently not with us.
Oh, Miriam has left us. Oh no.
Yeah.
Probably because of a bad internet connection.
Yeah, exactly.
But I guess she can just check out the recording, and I mean, maybe she's going to join us in the meantime.
Yeah.
All right. So we could, like, the idea could be you click on one FAQ question title, and then you get like another layer on top, which shows something like a box, like an overlay. Is that correct English?
Yeah, modal.
Modal. I guess modal is better.
Or in like React Bootstrap, they call modal. Yeah.
Something like that, and it shows you the content of the question. How about that? I think that would be quite nice. And then also the URL would change, right? So you can have a deep link, and it will show you like the modal directly.
Nice. Miriam's back.
Hi, Miriam. Glad to have you back.
Sorry about that.
Well, I just explained Math the whole idea. You could have a modal like this on top of the FAQ page. So you click on one of those questions, the URL will change to whatever, who are you, for example. And then as soon as you click on it, the URL changes, and you have just the modal on top of the index page. Does that make sense?
Yes. So all those questions will be gone, and you will have just the content, the answer of the question.
Can you come a little bit closer to the mic?
I said that the content of the page will be replaced by the answer of the question.
Yeah, so the content, by the way, I can hear you so much better when you get a little bit closer to the mic. I always have some troubles to understand you, but as soon as you get a little bit closer to it, it's so much better. I can hear you very well. So the content is in the translation.
Yeah, and I don't think
so you have the title and the content.
I don't think it actually will
it's in the translation, and
yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it actually will erase the questions. It will just be like kind of like a, I don't know, in React, the modal, or that's just like kind of like a pop-up. So you can kind of still see behind it, but if you can send the URL like as a deep link, and when the person goes there, it'll be like with that pop-up with the answer, like the content of the question. And then they can exit out of that, for example, and it'll go back to the page with all the questions.
Exactly. So you can have this deep link behavior, and then you still have see all questions, but the deep linked question somehow, I don't know, somehow emphasized. For example, with a modal. Yeah. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Miriam, are you still with us? Like the translations the content is not on the backend side. It's in the front end, since it's in the folder translations. The folder translation is part of the front end. That's what you get when you access the page for the very first time. So you have all these texts already on your browser. There's no backend request anymore. It's already there.
I had a question that, so is the idea to, because if I understand correctly, these all these questions right now, like you'd need to change these to links so that they're clickable to open up these models. So would you have like on the landing page, you would have to where you click on the links on the landing page and they lead you directly to the frequently asked question page with the URL specific and with the model showing? But if you were to go straight to the frequently asked questions page, for example, you could click on that and it would still open up the model as well.
So yeah, I would make a link to now, but I didn't get the last part. Like, repeat that one.
So like if you would be able to, like if for some reason a person went directly to the slash FAQ, then they would have a list of all the questions.
Yes.
But then they would be able to click on that. But also you would still have the frequently asked question page on the landing page, or you would do away with the frequently asked questions on the landing page?
Oh, good question. I would say I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Good question.
Because it could be not like if a person is already on the landing page, they might notice those questions and then click on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you could.
Yeah, probably I would do it away with the FAQs on the index page.
Yeah, or you could add it to like to the nav bar, for example.
Yeah, we could make something crazy, like we could add, like, render the FAQ page on the index page. like you can render in Ember, you can render pages inside pages. So you could have the part here, which is just the FAQ page.
And then when you click on it, it takes you to the FAQ page.
So basically, you can even see it. Come on, Ember. Ember. Why are you not showing the Ember inspector? Thank you. No, that's not the one. Ember? What's wrong? Hello. You can see that I'm clicking on.
Yeah. It's going to network for some reason.
I don't know what's wrong. But yeah.
So this like rendering another page, like page view on another page is like another example of this layering that is available in Ember.
Yeah. So you can see the layering here. So this is the entire application. This is the visualize part, and there you have visualize index. Okay, so this is a bad example because it's showing everything. But now I'm going into it. Okay, and then it's showing visualize key geo. So usually the Ember inspector like highlights the different components on each page. So you have pages which can be rendered inside, like nested inside pages.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can have components, and you should like the distinguishing between components and pages is that components don't reflect the URL pattern up here.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can put components anywhere you want. I mean, you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, for example, it's like this box on the left side.
Yeah.
And it's nested inside it. Yeah, that's the web component pattern. But the same applies to like routes. Okay, we have not a good example here because application is so thin. Like it's just.
Nav bar in the.
Yeah, I think it just has the nav bar in it. But I mean, you can see that you have like 3 pages nested inside each other. And you can have the same on the FAQ page. And I just changed the links to link to the FAQ single pages. And you can do that like this. You have link to, and then the name of the route separated with dots. So FAQ.single. This will render the FAQ single route with the slug as an ID. So
that is like concatenating those without.
Yeah, think of it more like a method call. Adding slug here will end up that you have slug as a parameter here. I think this is how it's slug. Yeah, I think this one here has to refer to the name of this part.
Yeah.
The Q slug will be, I think this is how it works. Let's see.
So I can't see that. What model or what route did you put that in? Is that's in the FAQ route?
This is single.
Oh, single route. Okay, cool.
And there you have params. You always have params, but if you go into params, this will be the object that's like you can find everything you like. If you have an ID here, it will show up in the params object here. Similar to the Rails params. Then you can do something with it, like render something. Yeah, there you go. So can you see it?
Yeah.
/single/quality.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
And now let's go into the FAQ single template. FAQ single. That's the template. So there's nothing in here. But
Mm-hmm.
just to show you that it is rendered when you go onto one of those single pages. I am a single FAQ page. Bloop. Whoops.
Nice.
What's going on? Where am I? Something has happened. Okay, FAQ. So here we are on the index page. I click on something, and then I'm on the single FAQ page.
Yeah.
And I can also say, yeah, oh, by the way, this outlet thing here
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
has the, yeah, so if I put it here, yeah, then it's down there. So this one here is the index page, the index template. This one is the single template. Index, single. And outlet refers to anything nested inside the nested templates.
Mm-hmm.
If I put it on the bottom, it will show up like on the bottom. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe you want that. I don't know. But you can already start to make use of the like the param, because if you return params FAQ slug, this will be our model. Then you can say model. There you go. Maybe H2. You have your survey down below. There.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm. So if you say model.content, it will.
Model.content, it's not there. Like model.content is undefined because model here is just a string. It's the string that's basically, since I wired it up that model returns just the URL part, FAQ slug, it's just a string.
Okay. Yeah.
The trick here is, actually, no, we don't even have to, we didn't, no access to the, like we have two different models now. We have this single model, which just has, I'm getting confused now. Okay, this is a little bit too confusing also to me. So let's get it straight. Yeah, you have the index, and then this model here is different from this model. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still with me? Because I'm getting confused myself. Actually, I'm a little bit worried.
Yes.
So yeah, I think important is that this model here is different from this model. This one is an array of strings, which we defined here. We say return and then an array of strings.
Yep.
If we say return like the FAQ slug part of the URL. Therefore, if we access model here, we have the array, and here we have just this key.
Mm-hmm.
We could do things with it. Like, I mean, it's pretty nice that we have all the links, and that's it. That's all we need. What we want to have maybe something like a model, right? By model. And since we're using semantic UI as a CSS framework, we can actually do that right now. Semantic UI Ember. Maybe they have an Ember component for that already. Where are the docs? So modal, nice. Okay. Yeah, that would be something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So What's going on here? Open model, approve model, deny model. So these are apparently controller actions. Interesting. Okay, so I think I get it. So yeah, so this is the component, UI model. It has on approve and on deny, and they are wired with the controller action.
Mm-hmm.
And somewhere here, I guess they are on approve. Huh? Like, where is the on approve action? Is this like a magic name for something? Huh?
Isn't that just the name of the action that they have defined somewhere else? That
Yeah, I guess this one here is the action that's defined on the controller, while
okay.
this one here on approve
Is something that the component has as an option. But we wouldn't need that, would we?
I don't know. How does it know which, like when I click on this deny button, where does it know? How does it know that it has to call this action?
Maybe it's the same principle used in forms.
Ah, there you go. This is what I was looking for. So there's on click. So this is another example. We have like this example. And I guess they are doing some kind of crazy magic here. So when you have a deny button, it's going to call on deny. Or if you have a positive button, probably that's some kind of black magic that they're doing here. So this is how they know which one to call. While here, it's probably the, what's the description? Model using an inline component. Inline component? Whatever. Model using an inbox model component. UI model. Ah. So this one is the model that comes with the Ember Semantic UI plugin. Well, you can here see that this is just HTML, and they're using like an on-click action. No. And this will trigger this action here, which is also in a component, which they inherit from. Well, this is the controller. I would actually like the controller thing. Anyhow, okay, let's just do it. Let's just copy paste that one here. Open modal profile, name profile. Ah.
Yeah, that's probably important as well.
Okay, I just copy that one. Here. And we should already see it. But when I click on it, it should just, no action named open modal. Aha, okay. So there is already an error when I have no action in the controller for FAQ. Oh, and I have to generate it first. Ember G controller, and then I generate the controller, which refers to the same route, like FAQ/single.
Mm-hmm.
Bloop. Here you go. And then we have this controller here. And what do they want from us? They want that we have this part this part in our controller. .ui. They're using jQuery. Name? So they're using jQuery here. So I understand this one here. So on-click action open modal will definitely just call open modal with the name, in this case profile, and then it will do some JavaScript magic. It will search for some HTML which has the class UI, profile, and modal, which would be UI, profile, modal, not there, but I guess this will be rendered from with this UI modal thingy. And then we'll call modal.show. Let's see what's happening. Can I save that? Okay. Nothing happens. So we're not even reaching this part here. Modal. Open more. Click. Action. How about button? Button. And remove the on-click part. It's still there?
Yes.
Aha. Interesting. So apparently when I click on it, I can close it, which is nice. And what does happen if I click on one of those buttons? Denied. So this is, for some strange reason,
it wasn't working as a div, but it is working as a button.
Yeah, it's not working as it is supposed to work. But I don't know. What I don't get is how does this one here relates to deny modal up there? Like, deny. How does that one relate to this one here?
On deny, yeah.
And vice versa. How does that know where this is coming from? And I have an idea that this is actually some kind of black magic. Like probably it's checking for HTML with a class positive in it. I kind of dislike. So what if this now? I don't like that. You can actually see it because the button is in the very on the very bottom of the page.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I can see that when you're clicking on. I can't see what the button actually says, but I can see when you click on when you removed the positive class and you clicked on it, it didn't do anything. And when that class,
that's me. We can just remove what. And you can see it a little bit better. Now,
yeah, that's better.
Okay, so okay, this is something I don't like, to be honest. Nevertheless,
but sorry, but we're not going to be using on approve on deny actions at all, are we?
no, that's correct.
Because the only thing we want that, I mean, the only thing that we're going to save from that, we're not going to have a picture or like any of that stuff. We're just going to have the translated content of the frequently asked question.
Yeah, just removing that stuff. All we need is
Image content.
See that's one here. You have a div called. So probably this is some way of like the inventor of this plugin had this genius idea of wrapping buttons that have some, I don't know, behavior in this div with the class actions.
Yeah.
I'm just removing it, and we're safe. We also don't have the image.
Profile picture or image.
We just have the header.
Yeah.
So since we are on single, we could even use.
So are you thinking that the UI like the just removing the header altogether, or having the header as the frequently asked question?
The header is the frequently asked question. So I would have the header as the link, and I would repeat the header here. So I just copy pasted the code from the original FAQ component.
Got it. Yeah.
And why is it a link?
Because
okay, so this is, at least this is the title.
Yeah.
So how do they have the header? Like they have it here. And then they have this close icon, which we can replace each one. And they have content description UI header. And then they have paragraphs. I'll just use one of those paragraphs for the actual content and remove the rest. I guess this is so far. Not quite what we are expecting.
No. Is it because of the name profile? Because I noticed that profile, that name profile was wasn't it the class name of the?
I mean, we have this profile, but I think this is the key necessary so it knows which modal to open.
Yeah, right. But
so first close icon. The first error. We have a single node close icon. Then we have header. And there's a double header. Then we have image content. We probably don't need the image CSS class. We just have content.
Description.
And description. And then in this one, UI header.
There's two contents as well, aren't there? Or no? No. Never mind.
No.
Not much of an improvement.
Ah. I mean, we should see something like missing translation now. Yeah, this is not the error. Ugh. Okay, let's start over again. Oh. Mm-hmm. And simply, maybe I do the other way around. Just put it here, and I will put that one here. And just remove that one. No. Why? And why two? Huh? I don't get it. I have just one. I cannot see what I'm doing wrong here.
Yeah.
Apparently there are two boxes that are closed, that are opened. Anyhow, okay. So I don't think this is necessary to like, this is some stupid error. Like, this is I'm missing something here, but it doesn't really matter. The point here is how to open this modal on visiting this route, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's just the like this action here, open modal, which we could just remove the button. We can remove the button and use this open modal action on rendering, like Amber controller on after render. From 2015, way too old. Okay, Amber life cycle hooks. Ah, this is the component lifecycle. We are in a controller. Is there a way for the controller to open the modal when it's So when I could call open modal after in the model hook, but that wouldn't this wouldn't do us a favor. We want to wait until the HTML is there, and then we want to show the modal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if it would be a component, we could use did render. Did render is on re-render on component On initial render, did render? Yeah, did render. So we want to, okay, I'm now refactoring it to be a component. And the controller, I think we don't even need the controller anymore. Maybe let's generate the component first. Amber G component FAQ modal. How about that? Okay.
Yep.
Maybe namespace it on the FAQ. I don't know. Yeah. FAQ. Maybe then we don't even need FAQ minus modal. But components have to have a minus in the name. Amber G component FAQ modal. Okay. Go for it. Now we just refactor this here. FAQ model JS. Yeah. Is on did render. So this method will be called when the component is rendered. And we copy paste that stuff. That entire stuff. And put it into FAQ modal and the template. Boom. And now what do we need? We need the slug. Slug seems to be here somewhere. Oh no. We didn't have the slug, but yeah. Do that later. So we render the UI modal. This one will trigger the showing of the modal on after render. And so here, all we need to do is to render this component FAQ / I think it's dot modal. Nothing. The slash. Please follow me.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I understand that you're trying to call this action after the page is rendered.
I just have a question. Should this action be called when you click on the question?
Closer to the mic.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to. Doesn't this action have to be called when we click on the question?
Yeah, I think that what I understood is that
I think I have to. I'm crazy. I don't know why. Sometimes the
Robert dropped. I think he was trying to see. I think he was just trying to see if it can render when after the page is rendered, and then he was going to refactor it to where it would be after the slug is rendered.
okay, here I'm back.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening, but my computer got crazy and very slow, and the connection dropped, and I couldn't hear you. So I'm going to share my screen. Oh, now I share my screen again.
Because I think the idea is that when the person is sent a deep link, for example, then they have like the FAQ / and then the slug, And then when they go to that after the page is rendered, then the model automatically then it calls the action to show the model.
Oh, yeah, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Can you hear us, Robert?
I can hear you again. Yes.
Okay, cool. Is that right? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, I'm trying to show the model as soon as I get on this page.
Yeah, which at the moment I can't see the top because of the, but anyways, at the moment you're just trying to get it to render with the FAQ page, but then you're going to add the slug afterwards so that it will render the model of the specific slug that the URL is on.
Yeah. So can you hear me again?
Yep.
Yes.
There you go.
Did that work? Yeah, there you go.
Fuck.
Nice.
All right, so this is it.
But that's rendering. Yeah, maybe I can stop screen share. So that's rendering every time you go to the FAQ page, or is that rendering when you go to the specific slug?
Specific slug.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Oh my god, it's becoming slower and slower. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
All right, so here I'm on FAQ.in, so the index page, and there's nothing.
Okay.
Now I click on something like that, and there we go. And
yeah,
we are on this URL.
Nice.
And all we want to do now is to put a nice title here and a description there, and we're ready to go.
What?
You can even do that. Why? Because here we have the slug, and in our FAQ model template, model HPS, yeah, we could, for example, put the slug here. It should work. I don't know why it didn't work the last time, but I'm expecting to see the slug here now.
Yeah. Hello? Robert? Miriam?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ah, cool. So I think Robert's machine maybe crashed again.
Yeah.
Unless you see something I can't.
But it doesn't seem like he left Hangout.
No. I think he's still here, but is the video frozen for you as well?
Yes, it's frozen.
So Robert, if you can hear us, your video is frozen. I was just thinking how, I mean, I guess it's to be expected, but I was just thinking how productive 1 hour is with with Robert.
Yes, in video.
I guess there's nothing that replaces many years of practice.
Yes, yeah, get to learn a lot.
I mean, I feel like that you and I could have definitely put all the questions and the content on the page, but this is kind of a cool way to get around the scrolling and also being able to send deep links and
it's much better than the first one. Like when you just click and go. This one is much cooler, I think.
Yeah. We're gonna have to see where we leave off today and what there's left to pair on tomorrow.
Yes. I will probably have to revise what he did.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because it can pass by really quickly, you know?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah. I wonder if he's going to be able to rejoin us.
yeah.
There, he dropped off. I think maybe he just realized.
Yeah. I think we can, if he can't continue, we can just call it a day and
Yeah. I
continue
mean, normally
tomorrow.
he normally likes to keep the meetings around 1 hour anyways. So
Yes,
I
that's
think it's
better.
probably. And then I guess he'll push everything up and we can pull down tomorrow. And
Yes, yes. So now we have some rules on how to do that and guidelines. So like we can continue working on it.
oh, there you go. Robert, are you back with us?
Yeah, I had to like force the shutdown of my PC.
Wow.
And I don't know what's happening, honestly. Like this happens from time to time. I'm hangouting and it's going well for an hour, and then suddenly my computer goes crazy. It's thrashing and the temperature is going up. I don't know what's
I
going
have a
on.
suggestion. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it could be. Sam was just dealing with like a really similar issue, and what he ended up doing was putting as using a laptop or a fan or something like this, because it may be from overheating. It seems like it's a symptom of overheating. But
Definitely, it's like the thrashing behavior is that the CPU for survival reasons. So the CPU will melt on temperatures higher than 100 degrees Celsius. And the CPUs don't want to melt. And therefore, it's thrashing. Thrashing is the behavior of waiting until the CPU cool down a little bit and then continue on until it's getting overheated again, and then waiting and then getting overheated again, and so on and so on. That's called thrashing.
okay.
And so you don't want to have, you don't want your CPU to be thrashing. Well, you want it to be thrashing in order to save it from from dying. But first of all, you want to have your CPU not being overheating, not getting hotter and hotter. And this is because of a misbehavior of, I don't know, the browser, because it's Hangouts is consuming so many resources, and at some point, I don't know what's happening. Maybe one possible solution could be it's hogging a lot of memory, and there's a memory leak. It's trying to put the memory on the disk. Putting the memory on the disk after the main memory is full costs a lot of resources, a lot of I/O. That's in turn heating the CPU. And you will get you will reach the point eventually where the CPU is thrashing, and then you cannot do anything anymore.
I'm curious. Do you have a fan, or because if you already have, then that maybe has nothing to do.
I have a fan, and I can hear it, and I can hear it very well when it's thrashing.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, sorry. Do you have like a fan? Like, I wasn't talking about like an internal fan. I guess maybe fan's not the right word. Like he has like a I don't know what they're called, like a platform that the laptop sits on so that it can get more air.
Yeah, I don't have that, but maybe that's a good point. Probably I can, for example, move it on the desk so it's reaching a place where it's not that hot.
Yeah, because I mean, he was having really similar issues where he was like, really frustrated for a little while, and then someone suggested that, and he apparently now it's like there's no problems anymore. So,
huh. Okay. Cool.
anyway, I don't know if you want to talk to him about his experience.
Yeah, definitely. I want to know what he did. He's not having these problems anymore.
So, Miriam and I were just talking about because we're gonna pair it tomorrow. So, you're gonna. I don't know if you want to continue or not, but normally you like to keep the meetings around an hour.
And also, this would be the point where I would say we basically reached our goals, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I can comment that and put it on the branch if you like.
Yeah, that'd be great. And then I guess Miriam was commenting, and I agreed that we're gonna need to take some time to process everything that that you did today, and then yeah, like see if what else there is to be done.
I'm on 80 degrees Celsius again, 50 degrees. What's going on? I don't get it. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, is my connection dropping at some point?
No, right now, no.
Yeah. Right now I'm on 47 degrees. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, if it was 47 degrees outside, I wouldn't be so happy. That sounds pretty hot, but
degrees outside. Yeah, that's true.
How's the weather in Berlin right now?
There was a thunderstorm this afternoon. So it's hot and humid.
Yeah.
But it's in general it is nice. So last 2 days, I mean, I'm here since 2 nights. We're a little bit of cloudy, but hot and a little bit humid. Was good.
Yeah. Sam was saying that that in England it's unusually warm this summer.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It was especially warm since May or April, I guess. So the summer was not only unusually warm, it also started very early.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, here in Brazil, like you're kind of the opposite, I guess. And I remember there was it wasn't so cold, but it wasn't even winter time. And then, yeah, and then now it's been really cold, you know.
So I'm doing like a little bit of wrap up. I think I found the reason why we couldn't see last time, like why the model was blank.
Oh yeah.
It's simply because I had slug in the template, but I forgot that the slug, like the property is first called model because it's coming from the route, you know.
Yeah.
So you have to call it model, and then you have to put it into the component, and there you can call it slug.
Yeah, I hate it when I do that.
That's what I'm going to do now. So you have a nice model soon.
I had a question for you. I'm going to be leaving in about an hour from now. I'm going to be leaving for there's this new, as part of Ruby Floripa group that I'm a part of. They want to have this English hack night that I don't know how often we're going to do, but we're going to have one tonight. And they're asking for things that we can do during this hack night. And I propose that we like work on some real world issues. So I was wondering, they're most of the people have a Ruby background, I guess, or actually, I don't know that that's true, but so I was interested in maybe trying to find. I was browsing the backend issues for RFM and was going to see how they feel about actually grabbing an issue and trying to work through that. I don't know if you have, I guess you would probably before working through open issues, but if there's any guidelines you have, or if there's anything that you wanted to like this higher priority or.
I would say so. This is going on tonight.
Yeah.
I will not have too much time tonight, anyways. Is it going?
It can be something I can suggest, like as far as working on a RFM issue, I can suggest for a week from now or something like that. The only issue I guess would be that they're setting it up for like 7 o'clock my time, which would be something around midnight your time. So I don't know if that's probably going to be an issue every week or every 2 weeks or whenever. I don't know the frequency that we're going to do it at, and to be honest, I don't even know if they're going to like the idea or if they're going to just prefer to work through like desafios, like challenges, or yeah.
I see. So you're going to do it on a regular basis?
Yeah, I guess that's the idea. I mean, for them, I don't think it's going to be a huge benefit for them to have, an English night once every month or once every 2 months, because you can't really learn English that way. It needs to be something with a greater frequency. So, I mean, that's kind of what I'm going to push for. But
so basically, you're asking to organize the issues, pick a list of high priority issues, be available for questions, and also maybe join in a pairing session. Is that something you would ask for?
I mean, that would be great if that's available, like if you would ever be available for that. If not, then maybe I can like try to pick some issues with you on a reasonable time when you're available, and kind of organize it a little bit to where, okay, this is the issue that we're going to pair on, and then we can kind of go pairing on it, and then I can report back to you like, hey, this is what we're, you can kind of see in the commit history, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah, so I would be definitely interested in it, and I was a little bit distracted because I'm also like fixing the
yeah. Sure.
Yes, so I can definitely do that. The only thing is how to do the
communicate
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that sounds nice.
I mean, if I came here to the, I mean, I can wait a minute if you want to finish out what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I'm almost done. Like, I can already see the content, and now the header is there. There you go. So I'll just leave it like a little bit dirty now, but I think let's go through it. I can also show you what I'm currently doing. Screen share, entire screen. Oh, no, now I have two screens. You cannot see a lot, right? No. Okay, stop. And disable the second screen. Active, no. Apply. No, you're here. And I can say share screen. Your entire screen. There you go. So I was just going through the code. So now it's showing the title and the content. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we don't need those buttons anymore. I can.
We probably don't need that guy's face either. Nice.
You still have the slug here. Probably you can remove that too.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So we have a component. We need that. We have the controller. We definitely don't need that one. Ember destroy. Oh. By the way, if you ever want to remove generated code, you can just call like everything that you generate, you can remove with Ember destroy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that like specific to Ember? Like, do you have that in Rails? I've never seen that in Rails.
This is Ember CLI, so it's the commands are all specific to Ember.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that looks nice. Model, yeah, this is what I was talking about. You have model, and you pass it into this component as slug.
Nice.
This is just a test. This is another test. This is a obsolete translation. Great. Okay. Big and dirty.
What? I'm sorry. What do you mean by an obsolete translation? Like it already exists?
1.4. Can you say it again?
You mean it's obsolete because it already exists? It's like duplicated, or why is it obsolete?
I think we had like the translation somewhere.
Oh, it became the key. No.
I just took it from here. So we can reuse that one.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can also put it.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
FAQ.questions, and then you're smart.
Yeah.
Hey, I just pushed that one.
Nice.
Oh no, I didn't. Now it's pushed. Here you go. All right. So this would definitely be the time when I say, let's close the regular meeting. Yeah.
Nice.
Mariam, are you happy?
Yes. Yes, there's a lot to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, in any case, we have the recording, and there's also the code now. We can check out the latest commit, and probably we'll get back to it and refactor it a little. And regarding the regular meeting of you, Matt, sure, feel free. I won't have a lot of time tonight, but in general, especially if you want to run it on a regular basis, just get back to me, and I will definitely, I would have to go to the issue list and prioritize a little bit. I would say anything that's related with, actually,
I found I don't know if I found the issue number 330, which is on the landing page. It says good first issue, which might be good for, and then it's like a database view for summarized statistics.
Yeah. Let me see. Good first issue. I mean, yeah, you could do that if you want to. It's not very it's like a very, very small performance increase improvement.
Okay.
You have the FAQ page already. Display route per broadcast. I don't get that one. What was that? Yeah, and this is also nice. I think this is already closed. I have to go through it. I have to go through the list of to be honest. I need some time, I guess.
And I need to talk to them and see if they're, I mean, if they don't like the idea, then it's, then whatever. Then we can find something for Miriam and I and whoever else to work on next.
Yeah, but in general, Mariam and Matt, do you understand like the concept of nested routes and why is it so different from server-side rendering? Because it's actually like routing in Ember or routing in front-end like single-page applications so much different. Like there's no HTTP request. Like there's something changing in the address bar, but this rich JavaScript application is just kind of doing some magic, and there's no request, like there's no communication here between front-end and backend because it's not necessary.
Yes, I kind of did that when I was using Vue.js, so I kind of get the concept.
Yeah. And I mean, it can be a very powerful tool, right? It is so much faster, like page transitions are so much faster with it because there's no like intermediate request.
Like the principle is that like if you use, for example, Webpack, it just bundles everything for you when you first load the page, and then that's how you get that single page application feeling.
Yeah.
Is it the same?
Yeah, kind of. Webpack is a build tool, and Ember has another build tool which is called Broccoli, which is similar to Webpack.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's the same principle.
Bundle everything, like when the first time you get on the domain, like the first time you get on the website, this is the very first request. you get the entire page, which was bundled with a tool similar to Webpack, and then this is it. And then you just have sometimes some requests when you need to get some data from the backend, but that's it.
Yeah, and you already did put some data in the front end?
Oh, yes, there are many routes with data. Like every statistic has data. Every broadcast is accessing data. And the index page is also accessing data, like the small statistic on the index page.
Okay. So that was the reason for doing it in the front end, so that it could be fetched without an HTTP request.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages of having such a front-end framework.
Yeah.
All right. So I would say let's close this regular meeting. No?
Yep. I'm happy.
All right.
Yeah.
Everyone is happy, and then I'm happy as well.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you tomorrow.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.